In 1997, Walmart opened 21 stores in Germany. With plans to expand and take over Europe, that does sound possible, right? Just 9 years later, they were gone, having lost around $1 billion. How can one of the world's largest companies, a brand that has thrived in 15 other countries, fail so badly and so quickly in Europe?
Well, first of all, 1997, we already had in Europe a lot of things that were already well established. And I think Germany is like the main manufacturing country that exports to all Europe. So, well, I understand why you want to open in Germany, but at the same time, for retail, I don't think is the best approach. Does the category matter for this? I don't think it does, because we're switching back to Skyrim after this, so it should be well.
To understand why this went so wrong, you first need to understand how Walmart's business model really works. The entire thing is built around their incredibly low prices, although I'm sure some would dispute that nowadays. Walmart usually goes into a market, undercuts their competition, and customers flock to them. It sounds pretty simple, and in most places, it kind of is. They've done this exact thing across Asia, Latin America, of course America, and seen massive success. In each of those cases, Walmart offered the local community unbeatable prices, making it difficult for any other company to compete, and therefore, they won. But things differ quite a lot when it comes to Europe. For a start, Germany is the largest retail market in all of Europe, and because of this, it's almost always where most companies begin when they plan on expanding into Europe. But just because it's the largest, that doesn't mean it's the easiest to crack. Not at all. At the time of Walmart's...
I mean, the Germans are very specific with their things, like it needs to be a specific quality for German people to buy it, right? So if it's suspiciously cheap, if it's super cheap, it's suspicious, you know what I mean? Must watch at 2 times speed. To be fair, when I watch videos alone, I do watch it at 2 times speed sometimes. Most of the time I like 175 speed. Didn't see much. Dipmo, thanks for stopping by. Pollen mentioned.
Expansion into Europe, Germany already had 2 huge companies doing the exact same thing as Walmart and kind of doing it better. Aldi and Lidl both had decades of experience understanding.
We don't have Aldi here, but I hear about it so much. Like, they have Aldi in Italy, I think, right? Don't remember exactly sure, but I know Lidl is all over Europe. And now they also have another one that's called Delhaize. I hope I'm not mispronouncing it. So... Aldi is in the US. Oh my god, so they made it in reverse? They were like, uno, reverso. You know what I mean? They were like, no, you. You try to populate Europe with Walmart. No, we go into US with Lidl. Oh, that's interesting with Aldi.
Exactly what German customers wanted, and most importantly, how they wanted to be sold to. Plus, Aldi specifically had already expanded into America too.
Oh.
This wasn't some scrappy local store that Walmart could just outspend. It was a global business already competing with Walmart outside of America. So when Walmart arrived in Germany, their competitive advantage was already taken. The low price positioning that they used to win everywhere else wasn't novel or really exciting to anyone. To get its foot in the door of Germany, Walmart bought an existing German chain called Wortkauf, with 21 stores. This was a smart move. It came with existing infrastructure, an established supply chain, and seemed like a legitimate shortcut into the market. However, just buying those stores didn't give customers a reason to choose Walmart over Aldi or Lidl. That was the first problem they needed to solve. And going into 1997, they didn't really have an answer. Walmart was already off to a bad start. Because of the direct competition, in order to make it work, Walmart needed something to offer German customers that Aldi and Lidl couldn't provide or replicate. There aren't...
Okay, we also have a very suspiciously cheap supermarket in here that I went to like a couple times, and like I would not go again because sure, it's cheap, but there was something about the shop that I just did not like overall. Like, I don't know, like I guess it's the vibe, the variety, most likely the variety. Yeah, they did have some like very nice product that I don't find in other places, but I don't know. Just the overall vibe of the supermarket, despite having lower prices, it did not like fully satisfy my needs because I would need to buy some of the things from there and other things I would not find there. And overall, just the way how it was organized, it just felt a bit unnatural. So I guess that also counts for local people. Maybe that's why it didn't really work because they had their own way of organizing it, like the American way, like it works for Americans. But just because it works for like one continent, it doesn't mean it will work for other continent. Different culture, different everything, you know. Maybe if they had local managers, you know, for these things, for the detail, like the attention to detail and everything.
So was the American shopping experience. Walmart's director at the time, the person
Good evening, Inoculator. What's up? How you doing?
responsible for understanding and winning over German customers, couldn't speak a word of German, nor had he visited very
There you go. The managers were not German. Literally what I was saying a second ago.
frequently, making him unable to communicate with their customers directly, and I would say the strategy going forward reflected that quite well. The plan was to import everything that worked in America over to Germany. They had greeters standing at the entrance to welcome customers in. Members of
Oh my god, that's a big red flag. If I see someone sitting at the door, I'm either thinking, one, it's closed and I cannot get in. Two, they're gonna bother me at every step I make and ask me, may I help you with something? No, you may not. I'm just looking. Let me be. Fuck's sake. I was actually story time. I was actually like looking for like a dress for some event at some point, and I was entering like shops and shops, and there's a very big Chinese marketplace in Bucharest, which people go to all the time. But most of the vendors are Romanian, right? And like they get like stuff from China and like they import it and they come here and sell it, and they are Romanian. And when you enter any of their stores, they're gonna be like, "May I help you? Do you like this dress? You want to try it on? Oh, you like these shoes? We also have different colors." Like, I don't care. I'm just browsing. I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm just coming here to browse, and if I find something that I like, I'm gonna talk to. Don't talk to me when I'm shopping. That's distracting. I know it's a marketing technique to get people to buy from your store because it gives like a good vibe, but it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for Gen Z. This is a big red flag for Gen Zs, okay? Balkans and social interactions is not even that. Apparently, it's for Germany too. It's just a very big red flag.
staff were required to smile at shoppers after bagging their items. They even had mandatory group Walmart chants every day. Maybe in America,
What?
customers expect a certain warmth from their retail staff. In Germany, the
Chants?
same behavior comes off completely differently. I think it's fair to say in Europe, as a whole, customers don't really want to be spoken to while they're shopping. If a stranger smiles at you unprompted at a checkout, it might not come across as friendly as it does in America. German
Okay, maybe just smiling at a person on checkout, I think that's a bit exaggerated. I do smile to like workers when I greet them. I like greet them with a smile on my face, like, hey, you know, like I try to fake a smile. It just makes everyone's days better. And I think that's nice. But you don't have to like fake like a super like deep grin. Like, that's kind of creepy, you know? That is super creepy. Just like a slight smile, like, that's fine. You don't have to move your whole fucking face for me. Just, that's tiring for people working there, first of all. But like, that's with the smiling. I think it's okay. I think it's fine. Just don't over smile.
shoppers at Walmart just felt a bit uncomfortable. The assumption broadly is that if someone you don't know is being unusually warm to you, they probably want something from you. The greeters at the entrance weren't making customers feel welcome, they were making them feel like they were being sold to. The morning chanting was obviously even worse. Workers just found it embarrassing. Of course. On top of that, the ethics code
Morning chanting. That sounds like a freaking cult, man. What do you mean morning chanting? What are you chanting for your ancestors to bring you luck so that they bring they bring customers in? Chanting for what? Chanting for bringing the rain? Like, what? That's freaky. That's so fucking freaky. Morning chanting. I'm sorry, but if I were to work in there and now it's like, oh, we're a family here, we just do morning chanting like this. That's how we are. A bit freaky. And we love it. No. Massive red flag of working there chanting. Oh, even my cat doesn't agree with that. My cat is upset now. Holy shit.
Walmart brought over from America required employees to report colleagues for misconduct and prohibited romantic relationships between co-workers. If we jump forward a little bit, a German court actually struck part of that down in 2005, but the damage to the staff's morale had been building for years before that. By the time Walmart started looking for ways to turn things around, the stores were already losing in every way. Prices weren't low enough to beat Aldi or Lidl, the service model was putting customers off shopping at all, and their stuff.
Okay, how do you prohibit someone from having a romantic relationship at the workplace? Like, I get public display of affection is one thing, but completely prohibiting, why would you do that? Like, some people make friends at school, in college, and then that's all. They go to work and that's all the people they're gonna meet. How do you think people make couples? Like, why would you prohibit that? Makes no sense.
Staff were unhappy performing rituals to a management team that couldn't even speak their language. The business was clearly struggling, and they'd barely been open 3 years. So Walmart needed to pivot. If the culture wasn't working, they would just make the prices impossible to ignore and undercut everyone. They began cutting prices aggressively, selling products below cost in some cases, with the sole intention of pulling customers away from Aldi and Lidl, forcing them into a price war. But you see, German law prohibits selling below cost specifically to drive competitors out of business. Because a company like Walmart with deep enough pockets can sustain these losses for long enough to just destroy all of their rivals. And
that's why the European Union is very smart. Because we have regulations on these things, so you don't have one big company putting a lock on all prices and dictating what they want to do with the market. And that's why it's good to have the government be implicated in this, to not have this happen.
German law treats that as anti-competitive. Walmart was going to use their scale to undercut until the competition failed, and the German High Court stopped them pretty much straight away, ordering them to reset their prices. And just like that, they were back to square one with basically nothing left. Their prices were no lower than Aldi and Lidl. Walmart stores were less familiar than the chains that had been there for decades, and they'd spent years making shoppers feel uncomfortable at this point. There was really no reason to choose Walmart over a store like Aldi or Lidl. It feels like Walmart went into this with no research whatsoever, and made every possible mistake as a result of their poor planning. Their response to all of this was to expand even further. They announced plans to grow to 85 stores across Germany, which meant opening up 50 new Walmarts. Their thought process, presumably, was that pure scale would eventually fix what their strategy couldn't. During this time, they cycled through several new directors, trying to find someone who could change things. But each year that went by, these German stores were pulling more money out of Walmart's global results. And that was without benefiting them.
Let me guess. They weren't German directors, they were American directors. Wait, I need to fix my sound issue, because I have... I'm gonna cut that from the video. I hear the game in the background. So, let me guess. They were American dictators. Let me guess, they were American directors and they did not know the local market.
In the slightest. Everything they'd done to date had either failed outright or been blocked by the government, and their plans to open up 50 stores quickly ran into problems, and eventually, out of all 50 planned stores, only 2 actually opened, which is a terrible rate. So eventually, in 2006, they sold the entire operation to a German company called Metro, just 9 years after Walmart expanded into Germany. The total loss across those 9 years came to around $1 billion. However, Germany isn't the only place that pushes back when companies attempt to bring their product over and just assume that it will work without any research or demand. Tesla did the exact same thing with the Cybertruck, and now there's an entire continent that won't let them on their roads. The Cybertruck failed European safety standards in ways that go so much deeper than most people realize. Currently, it's banned across the entirety of Europe. Click here to learn why.
I did not know that the Tesla is banned in Europe. That explains why that explains why you don't see it in here. First of all, it's ugly. It should be banned because it's so fucking ugly. Where's the aerodynamic in that one? Wait, I forgot what I wanted to say. Oh yeah, Metro. We have that
operation to a German company called Metro.
We absolutely have that, and they are doing like, they are the major retailer in here for like restaurants and stuff because they sell bulk. And if you own like a business, what's it called? If you own like a business, like a mini supermarket or whatever, that's where people buy the things from because it's super cheap to buy them in bulk from the Metro. And I think it's the same one. Let me Google it. Metro AG. What is it? Metro. I don't think it's the same one. Dusseldorf. It is. Is it the same one? I think it is. No, it looks a bit different. But it looks like the same one. Let me look at it better. Owner. Oh, it is. It's owned by the German multinational wholesale Metro AG. Says AI. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It's the same one. So Walmart basically got failed. Like, I don't even understand how you fail when a Metro took over and like they made it work somehow. See, because it's all about knowing the local market and hiring local managers. Why did they not do that? Why did they not hire local managers? One of my IRL friends met their wife at their workplace. That's so nice. That's how I met Ferris. It's actually super nice. It's also an Eastern European thing. We just hate people bothering us while we're shopping. It's not just Eastern European thing. It's all European thing. It's all European thing. For Poland too, we don't do small talks ever. I understand having like small talks like, hey, hi, do you need anything? And then they leave me be, like, fine. But usually I don't return to those shops. You know what I mean? Thank you for stopping by. Please leave a like and subscribe if you like this.